The 23 Enigma refers to a belief that all incidences and events are directly connected to the number 23, given enough ingenuity on the part of the interpreter. Now you may have heard about the strange phenomenon where the number 23 seems to appear in unlikely or coincidental ways. Some people believe that it's a sign of supernatural forces at work, while others just see it as a quirky coincidence. The whole obsession with the number can be traced back to the 1960s in Tangier, where writer William Burroughs met a sea captain called Captain Clock, who boasted to him that he had never had an accident in 23 years. Later that day, Clock's boat sank, killing him and everybody on board. Burroughs was reflecting on this, and on that same evening, he heard a radio report about a plane crash in Florida. The pilot was another Captain Clock, and the plane was Flight 23. From then on, Burroughs began noting down incidences of the number 23. Now before we continue, I did research this plane crash, and there was indeed a plane crash in the 1960s, but the captain's name wasn't Captain Clock, which does cast a bit of doubt very early on in the video. Since then, the Enigma has spread and people have found tons of weird connections featuring the number 23. Now some of them are a stretch in my opinion, but others are pretty cool. Okay, so we have tons of examples, so let's start with some basic ones and then we can get to the more complicated ones. William Shakespeare was born on the 23rd of April. Okay, simple, there's a 23. He also died on the 23rd of April, which is pretty weird, let's be honest. Then people took it even further. He was born on the 23rd and died on the 23rd, so 23 plus 23 is 46. In the Bible, take Psalm 46, count from the first word, 46 words, and the word you will find is shake, as in Shakespeare. Like I said, some are a stretch. Now, it doesn't stop there. If you start at the end of the psalm and count backwards 46 times, the word spear will be found. So, like Shakespeare, yeah. Okay, next one. Let's make this one less intricate. Nissan, the car manufacturer, comes from the number 23. Counting in Japanese, 1 is ichi, 2 is ni, 3 is san. So, 2 is ni and 3 is san. Ni-san. I'm not going to go into every single one I could find, but let's go through a few really quickly. The Earth rotates on an axis of 23.5 degrees. It takes 23 seconds for blood to circulate through your body. Each parent gives 23 chromosomes at the start of a new life. Other human cells have 46 chromosomes arranged in 23 pairs. W is the 23rd letter, with 2 points facing down and 3 facing up. 23 is also the first prime number where both digits are also prime numbers, and together they add up to another prime number. Now, there are many more examples of the number 23. Is this number really connected to everything? As with most numerological claims, the number 23 can be viewed as an example of confirmation bias or selection bias. Robert Atten Wilson, an author and psychologist, said in interviews that the number 23 and all its connections are a demonstration of the mind's power to perceive truth in nearly everything. And I quote, "When you start looking for something, you tend to find it. This wouldn't be like Simpson Newcomb, the great astronomer, who wrote mathematical proof that heavier than air flight was impossible and published it a day before the Wright brothers took off. I'm talking about people who found a pattern in nature and wrote several scientific articles and got accepted by a large part of the scientific community before it was generally agreed that there was no such pattern. It was all just selective perception." This is also an example of the clustering illusion. The clustering illusion refers to a natural human tendency to see patterns where actually none exist. Now, I don't know if you guys knew it, but the number 5 also has a whole bunch of connections. People have been connecting it to a whole lot of stuff. But people see the number 5 as divine, since man has 5 fingers, 5 senses, and 5 toes. Thus, it is the number of God's grace. The number 5 actually has more connections than the number 23, if you read up on it. Maybe I'll make a video on it later, if that would be something you would like to see. Just let me know down below. We as humans love patterns, and we tend to see them in everything. It's called pareidolia, the definition of which the tendency for perception to impose a meaningful interpretation on a nebulous stimulus, usually visual, so that one sees an object, pattern, or meaning where there is none. While it's certainly interesting to speculate about the possible connections between the number 23 and various events or phenomena, there is no scientific evidence to support the idea that the number 23 is anything other than a regular, everyday number. It's possible that the 23 Enigma is simply a matter of perception, and that we are more likely to notice and remember occurrences of the number 3 because it has gained a reputation of being significant. So next time you see the number 23, don't be too quick to attribute it to some hidden meaning or force. It might just be a coincidence. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you like these type of videos, this channel is going to have a whole bunch more mysteries and like weird things from all over the world. So if that's stuff that interests you, leave a like, subscribe, and go through the channel. I think at the moment we only have 3 videos, but there's a lot more to come. So if you like this, you'll like all the other stuff that is yet to be released on this channel. Anyways, I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers,